Thank you very much, Harry. Kai and I, we're back casting again, some UK Counter-Strike. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling brilliant. I'm looking forward to it. I am back in my medium, in my zone, and I'm over the moon to be here. And I'm over the moon to also be alongside you, Snots.
Oh, you're too kind. Obviously, Inferno being the first map in this second semi-final of the day. The first one we saw in Inferno only a few moments ago was extremely one-sided against Reflex. Pension has taken that one, and now we're going to be finding out who is going to be joining them in that grand final.
Yeah, big shout out to Jakey Elton for his superb observing so far. I'm talking about observing. We're currently observing Fierce eSports try and brute force a potential entry up Banana towards B, but now they're heading back down towards A again.
I hate to break it to you here, kind of, but actually Jake's on replays.
Well,
it's Chris Perkins who's observing. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I had one job.
So, stack here towards middle, coming out from Revelation GG. 2 towards quad, 5 players. From mid, from Fierce, ready to make the move.
There we go, Russ, the star man for Revelation Gaming, is gonna go down. Kraz headshot with one headshot to stand. Fry and Eccles explode on the A bomb site, and there's, you can tell I've not done this in a while, can't you? It's kicked in there. JSav and Hawk now with a massive job on their hands to try and re-infiltrate this A bomb site, but the C4's ticking. The T's are more than ready to handle the last and final incoming Revelations player. And ladies and gents, it is going to be 1-0 to Fierce.
Just like that, Fierce taking the pistol round. 3 players stacked towards the A site from Revelation GG. 2 towards quad, 1 playing towards the balcony, but the flashbang was picture perfect from Fierce. Blinds with the 2 players towards quad. They funnel out through apartments, through boiler, through middle, and flood their way in towards the A site and claim the first. Now will be the force spike coming out from Revelation GG. Russ obviously being the star player, and Orpa for Revelation, which means he will be staying on about $1,200 so we can afford the AWP into that next buy round. And for now, just map control being obtained here by Fierce, playing it slowly and methodically, meticulously clearing out every corner using all the utilities that they have. 52 kills with the AWP this season. And actually it was his rifle on a few of the maps as well, where it was getting 30, nearly 40 kills on a few of them in overtime on cash. So, here comes the play. 2 frags early, 3 kills actually in favour of Fierce. The remaining players from Revelation just towards B.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Eccles eradicates 2 of the defending Revelation counter-terrorists. And now Craze D and JSav with really it all to do. And unsurprisingly, Snods, it looks like they're going to take a chill pill, try and save what they've got in ruins, and of course Fierce, they're going to live up to their name and try and fiercely hunt them down to prevent them to be able from saving and doing so.
Exactly that. 5-7 and a CZ, 2 flashbangs is what they have currently. Crazed has given away his position. Molotov will be flushing out the peak from him, and now it's very obvious where JSav now remains. Unable to land the headshot, Astro takes him down 2-0 in favour of Fierce. And now we see the Falika coming up from Revelation GG. And now this is the interesting part here, Kainai, with the ecos. Now with the new money system, we saw it heavily favour pensioners in the first semi-final. The ability to always have, well I say always, the ability to have the AWP far more times in your arsenal in the rounds. Obviously the round loss bonus now doesn't instantly get reset back to 1400, it goes down systematically if you have lost multiple rounds in a row back to where it was prior.
Do you like the change, or?
It depends. Obviously it means the games are now longer because more rounds are more competitive, and it does remove that story arc of the full reset, and when players have huge clutches, when it meant so much for the money as well, it added a bit of nuance to certain plays. However, loving fair Counter-Strike, it's more fun sometimes having an abundance of just full buy rounds.
Anyways, just over a minute on the clock, and Fierce eSports have already managed to infiltrate the smaller B bomb site. Stanley just hanging around near second mid, trying to catch any rotating counter-terrorists as Astro disposes of Hawk. He is going to go down stand to Russ is USP, so that's at least 1 kill exiting this round for the Revelation guys, but 1 kill is only what they're going to get as Fierce rack up that third round on the board.
Round number 4. First bye round here, the second semi-final. Revelation coming in the first seed from their group. Reflex did as well, and we saw how that one panned out for them. Losing 2-0 and very convincingly on Inferno in that final map for them. Coming into this as well, some of these players should be performing on LAN as it is their first. Monk was the star player in that last best of 3 for Reflex. And now who's it going to be? Online it was Russ. Maybe it could be Impact Crazed here on LAN. But time will tell. As so far it's just 5 players from Fierce stacked up towards middle. 1 in towards apartments, 1 boiler, 3 middle. As they're going to be converging now towards A.
Smokes, grenades, Molotovs all being catapulted towards this larger A-bomb site as Impact with the AUG is going to get first blood onto Fry. Such an important player, down and out already for Fierce eSports. And Impact and Co, they know what's coming as the terrorists race into the bomb site. But unfortunately at the moment, are all biting the dust. 2 down, or 3 down rather, 2 more to go. Eccles is going to scurry towards Archside. He's not going to meet anything, and with only 40 seconds on the clock, you'd expect now from this point, Snods, for Revelation to get that first round on the scoreboard.
2 versus 5, so most definitely. Question is now, though, how effectively and cleanly can they win this round? Can we see a few kills come out from Solcas and Eccles, try and dent that CT side economy? So far, no. 1 versus 5 now. Eccles has it all to do. 15 seconds, Molotov will go out. Probably going to force the peak. That's probably the best he's going to get. 5 players stay alive from Revelation GG. And now they can start to build their money going forward, just in case they do eventually get reset down the line. Round number 5 here as Fierce have already stacked up a lot of cash. $8,000, nearly $9,000 there for Eccles, so he can drop over for Stanley, and they can invest heavily and fully into round number 5. AUG, the T-side equivalent. The SG coming out from Astro. Interesting to see how he does work his magic with that weapon, if it's going to be used towards mid or B.
Yeah, it's almost like he's realised Revelation are playing themselves with the AUG, so he says, anything you can do, I can do one better. But he has had a bit of fire damage done to him at Banana. Crazy D is going to be the first casualty for the round, thanks to none other than Eccles himself, as the C4 makes its way up the Banana with J-Sav patiently waiting for something to appear from within this smoke. It looks like he could very well meet contact very, very shortly. But at the moment, Fierce taking their time. And, you know, they want to make sure their next move is the right one.
Oh, fully blind. J-Sav able to find the head of Eccles. 4 versus 4. Problem is, though, Solcas doesn't have the people to back him up to be able to go for that angle. There's no reason to go for the face when J-Sav is holding that angle there. There was no one with him to trade the kill, to Molotov out that position, as all he has is the smoke in his inventory. Double face coming in, and it's a 1-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, 3-time Prem VP winner Russ is going to get a headshot onto Astro. Could very well get the second, which he does. Will it be 3? He deals the damage, but just not quite enough to see Stanley eradicated for now. 3 versus 2 as the terrorists march towards this B bomb site. Smoke down to CT spawn. Bomb will get planted, and Sol, with a huge job on his hands, deals with 1 but not the second, and now Impact with it all to do. Stanley is bleeding internally, but he does have the all-powerful Kalashnikov in his hands and wins the round for Fierce. Revelation not able to win a second in a row, and Fierce are back on the score sheet.
4-1. Now will be the reset against Revelation GG. In terms of cash, they can still buy, thanks to the new system. UMP for Crazed, 2 M4s for Hawk and J-Sav. Impact going to be onto the AUG, and Russ here on our screens with that orb up close, able to land a shot onto Stan. Sees a glimmer of him through the smoke. 5 versus 4 once again. Solcas trying his best to try and make this an even exchange here. Go for a 4 versus 4 if he can find the entry in towards B. The remaining 4 players here from Fierce stacked up outside the B site, but the smoke will shroud their vision and shroud their chances of immediately going in towards B, as now they have to watch for a push towards middle, try and maybe fake mid control or show presence across the map. Otherwise, we should be seeing a rotation from Revelation to have the extra man towards B for that 3-man stack towards Bravo site. Instead, it's all down to Fry to sell that fake.
The smoke's flying out, one towards Arch side and a cheeky flashbang towards Quad. But if they do decide to run towards Arch side, they'll have an in-form Russell away to them with that big green gun. Hello, Soulcast says peekaboo to JSav as he gets one. Can he make it 2? Krasny says no before he hits the deck. Astro takes control of the B bomb site for Fierce eSports. Russ now in the process of rotating along with the rest of his teammates, and the CTs with a huge job on their hands. All Fierce have to do now is play this cool, calm and collected and wait for the enemy to come to them. Astro, all eyes on CT spawn as Russ takes the peek from Ruins. The clock is ticking. Astro gets his second of the round before Hawk returns that kill. 2 versus 2 as Fry holds on the CT from being able to defuse. It will start, but it will not hold on. And Eccles and Fry combine to get the 5th round for Fierce.
Just like that, the 1 versus 2, the spray transfer there from Fry to win that clutch 5-1, and that should mean the eco now coming out from Revelation GG. It looked so perfect there, the shot from Russ to set things up. They had the man advantage. And here it should be seconds away. 5-1, and eco as predicted. Easy frags here for Stan and Co. 1 Mac 10, apart from that AKs and the full buy across the board. We should be seeing the 6-1 scoreline now early on for Fierce, able to snowball their advantage by winning those rounds. JSav giving away his position, last player alive, it has the deagle. And eventually will meet his demise, and there it is. Cash now in the hands of Revelation GG, but where do they put it?
So Snods, let me dive deep into your Counter-Strike brain. 6-1 down. CT side of Inferno, what have Revelation been doing wrong so far? What do they need to change?
It's a good question. Obviously, so far for Fierce, they have such experience across the roster that they're going to be ready for whatever Revelation GG throw at them. If we saw Banana Control come out from the CT side here, Fierce know the counter to that. Take mid control, play it slow, wait for the smokes to fade, then capitalize off of that eventually in the mid round. What they need to do is find picks. They found it just there. Use that skill, use that youth that they have, and try and get the firepower going in their favor if they want an edge.
Russ was sent towards the B bomb site early on this round, changing it round from his usual position. He managed to get first blood. 5 versus 3 as Stanley meets contact towards the pit. Hawk awaits him in his crosshair and pulls the trigger and gets the frag. And this very well could be Revelation's 2nd round. Astro, though, with other ideas, will slay Impact as Hawk waits patiently for his 2nd kill of the round. But if they get too close to him, it's going to be difficult. But Krasny, his right-hand man, will get not 1 but 2 with the AUG, and Revelation will win the round.
Just like that, 6-2. The opening picks worked their magic. Rush towards B with a boost above the wall. There's it from his point of view. Impact with the 2nd kill, making it that 3 versus 5. And I said if we can see early picks going in favor of Revelation GG, that's where the rounds can come. In terms of team play, the advantage has to go in favor of Fierce. Individually, goes in favor of Fierce. So it can make it difficult to give an edge to Revelation. Obviously, online is a different ballgame when Fierce maybe aren't taking it as serious. And we saw the difference in professionalism between the first 2 maps, from Pensioners and Reflex, from Overpass to Inferno, the way they stepped it up between the break. Crazed here with 1, unable to get the spray transfer onto the 2nd. Dom on to 5 HP, still alive and kicking.
Russ with it all to do, really. He is going to get killed, though, by Soulcast as JSav slowly creeps in, but he's going to be nailed in the head by JSav himself. Bomb will get planted on B. Impact and Hawk over on A, probably going to keep what they've got.
Indeed, they shall.
Question for you, Snods.
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously Inferno is based on a legit real place in Italy.
Yeah, I don't know the name, if that's what you're going to ask me.
Well, that pretty much confirms that you've never been. I've never been, but I would.
I've seen the pictures on Reddit with the church bells in the T-spawn area.
Yeah, I want to go there one day, just to be able to basically stand back and say, hey, I've been to Inferno, or at least T-spawn on Inferno in real life.
That's a good way of asking for a rate increase, isn't it? I've actually been in Counter-Strike. I want more money.
I am Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. Ooh, 7-2. Revelation. They just can't get those consecutive rounds, can they?
No, they cannot. Win one, lose one. That's not the situation you want to be in if you are Revelation GG's economy. 7-2, 5-round deficit. And it's a fierce pause coming out.
Interesting.
Maybe having a chat here.
That is something to mention, actually. The fact that Fierce, as opposed to Revelation, do have Imi, person you know very, very well. A lot of extra experience now added to their side. Do you think that is, at the moment, what could very well be giving them, that extra edge against their opposition?
It depends, really. For someone like Imi, as a very tactical coach and very, very intelligent when it comes to Counter-Strike, a lot of his impact is going to be had before the event in terms of preparation, in terms of strategy for his team. And on the day, for him, it's more of that coach-manager role, making sure his players are warmed up, making sure his players are comfortable. And obviously the tactical pauses, that's where his magic is worth its weight in gold in terms of his Counter-Strike knowledge. 3 versus 2, this round has really kicked off fast.
Yeah, whatever Counter-Strike knowledge Eccles himself has, it's now been flushed down the drain because he no longer has a head. 2 versus 2. Russ making his way towards mid as Hawks says see you later to Stan, and that is the bomb as well, dropped in pit. So Revelation with an opportunity to utilise the extra man now, regroup together. They know Astro has just under a minute to come to them, and unless Astro can really do the impossible, Revelation should have yet another round on the board. But he does pick up a Molotov, down it goes. He does have damage dealt to him, and it means the CTs know exactly where he is, and it means Russ will poke round the corner in lower apps and say, peekaboo, bye-bye Astro, and the AWP hits the ground. So that's an AWP loss for Revelation. 7-3 Fierce. That pause paying dividends.
Indeed it is. Maybe dividends the other way as Revelation take the round, but Fierce call the pause. Obviously in terms of momentum, he would have halted that immediately. But anyway, into round number 11. Russ with the wide swing in towards middle, hoping someone will be running into Vietnam there and giving away that first frag. Instead though, flashes, forcing him back towards Arch. And now we're starting to see Astro try and find a gap in that smoke. Maybe a boost could come above it. JSF here with the elevated angle. That's the backup as well of Crazed with the AUG on that B site towards the coil. Smoke's going in towards B, probably going to try and force out the Molotovs and utility from Revelation towards that B site. However, all 5 players now rekindle towards B. Flashes towards top banana as the second smoke going to be dished out by JSAV. And now all they have to do is wait 10-15 seconds before they pull the trigger. And this could be their round.
Very well could be. Smoke's catapulted over JSAV and co with it all to do. It's a massacre on the B-bomb site, and it's going in favour of Revelation. Astro, last man standing, fakes the plant and waits for the counter-terrorists to show themselves. It's a waiting game now. Revelation. No, Astro must be somewhere on this B-bomb site because they've got someone at the bottom of Banana as well. And they don't need to rush this. Play this cool, calm and collected. Astro eventually is going to need to try and plant, and then they can try and jump in on.
1 versus 3. Bomb. Unable to go down there, Crazed. Denies that. 7-4. Revelation for the first time able to string 2 rounds together. Maybe this is the start of something new. Round number 12. Eco going to be coming out from Fierce, and here's the replay. of Craze, finding 2 kills by accident there. You can see he found the kill onto Stanley, got a second one through the smoke as they crossed pits.
I'm disappointed you didn't say, you know, the 2 rounds in a row could be the revelation that Revelation are looking for. Or is that only my level of cringe type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slicing through. Oh, there you go, in there. Right.
I've got worse.
Oh, I'm sure you
all
have.
about that, yeah.
So you can take Massacre, though, off the list. So, here it comes then. Eco, Russ should have a field day here. 1, 2, maybe some more as well. The pistol has Russ with 3, Hawk with the remaining 2. 7-5, that was a quick one. And now we go into another buy round here for Fierce.
7-5, Revelation. They're a couple of rounds behind, but they're slowly but surely crawling back. And of course that economy is starting to slowly but surely build up.
Once again, Russ changing up the angle, going to be peeking from quad this time instead. Astro peeks up just at the right time though. After Russ has cleared the angle, he's trying to peer in towards second middle. Gets caught by the side, and now the 5 versus 4. This is where it should be the snowballing situation for Fierce. Smoke towards the inner balcony to apply some added pressure here against Impact in towards Pit. Fry there just lurking. Fierce just waiting for the smokes and utility to fade towards Banana before they take control now as they slowly started to walk that way. Hawk though walks in through Boiler, catches Fry on his lonesome. And now Stanley's going to be going for the 1 versus 1 towards Arch.
He is indeed. He's managed to somewhat go unnoticed so far. And if he continues, he might be able to wrap around, but no, they definitely know he's there now. Knife out. Is he going to go towards Library? He is. And now he can try and hold off the CTs, but instead, the other Fierce players have scurried down Banana, and now they're all going to try and wrap around this larger A-bomb site. Hawk with the AUG waiting alongside Impact for something, for someone to appear. 1 kill happens. Is there going to be a second? There's going to be 3, in fact, on this bomb site. Crazed and JSav being held off, but they stopped the bomb from going down, and now it's 2 versus 1. JSav has gone undetected coming around Arch side as he goes in search of one last remaining terrorist. The question is, can he kill him? The answer is yes. Great play from JSav. Will defuse the bomb as well. And Revelation, 7-6.
Crazed there, shooting the body. Well, that could have been the round slipping away from Revelation GG, but JSav makes it happen in the 1 versus 2. No trade frag coming up from Astro. And into the 1 versus 1. JSav with the AUG, of course, takes it. Hawk on 112 utility damage. He's playing towards that B bomb site. That's where you typically see the high numbers, the HE grenades, the Molotovs, etc. So, flashing towards top Banana. Fierce aren't going to be happy with that last round going in favor of Revelation GG and JSav. No AWP into this round. Just the 5 rifle setup. SG again for Astro. Don't really see the T side SG in play very often. Flashbang for CT.
Spro prepares. He wants to fling that flashbang over towards CT spawn, and it is going to be none other than Eccles to lead the Stampede towards the B bomb site. Crazy will get the trade-off though, and his teammate will fall back towards Ruins. Hawk with a cheeky headshot through the smoke, and now 4 versus 3 with a lot of work for Crazy and co to do to try and retake this B bomb site. Soul at the back. Impact making his way slowly but surely from CT spawn. The clock's ticking, and Revelation need to get running.
3 versus 3 now. As the push comes in through the smoke from Fry, catches Russ off guard. It's just like that. It's just going to be Crazy and Impact alive. 7-7. They have time to defuse the bomb. Anticlimactic retake there as it all just ended in a blink of an eye. Final round here in the first half of the second semi-final. This is going to be a buy. Yep, going to be the buy coming out from Fierce. 5 rifles once again, 4 AKs, SG for Astro.
credit where it's due to Revelation as well. They were obviously 7-2 down at one point. Fantastic character shown from the current counter-terrorist team. And talking about character, it's a nice little wallbang there to annihilate Stan.
Flashbang prepared by Solkas. 3 players at the edge of the smoke. Ready to execute at the drop of a pin. Here it comes. Craze is blind. The smoke goes up, but too late. As now the T's make their way onto the B-bomb site. JSAB with the off angle finds nothing so far as he prematurely locks off from Fry. 4 versus 4, but look at the HP here for the 4 players from Fierce.
Yeah, very, very low. Revelation can do a lot of damage, and Crazy will begin by doing not 1 but 2 kills with that Orc. Fry trades it back in this 3 versus 2. Solkas hits the deck on Banana, and now Fry, the instrumental man, the man with 3 ESL UK Premierships to his name, with a massive, with a huge, with a monumental job on his hands. Begins, or needs to begin, by picking up that bomb. But, you know, with only 21 points of health, I think he needs Gaben on his side right now.
Manages to get in. Ooh, I was going to say, can they kill onto impact, run towards A? Maybe there's a chance he could play the headshot angle in pit or a headshot angle on the boxes on the A side. Maybe there could have been life there in that play. Instead, though, you see the highlight here. The issue obviously being the HP in that last round for the 4 remaining players. You can see it here, Craze just walking in, just a breath of fresh air was taking those players down. Hawk with the timely flank as well. And an easy last kill there onto Fry from Impact. So 8-7, round number 16, into the second half pistol.
Yeah, a lot of momentum behind Revelation after the first half. Let's see whether or not it can carry into this first pistol round. Stan says otherwise as he bids farewell to Russ. The crispy, silenced USP headshot. Flashbang coming out, and Impact will return the favour onto Stan. And Eccles pushes Banana, gets 1, can't make it 2. And at the moment, this round can go either way. CT's rotating over towards this smaller B-bomb site as Kraz leads the charge. Solkas goes in search of frags. But you know what? He can't find any.
3 versus 3, Crazed. JSAV chiming together to make this round maybe go in their favour. Fry in the 1 versus 3. This is the player you would want if you're Fierce to have this monumental task. But JSAV able to silence any hope in that play. 9-7, 2-round advantage here for Revelation going into the 17th. And it's going to be the force play coming out from Fierce. Invest in those smokes, invest in those CZs, play those close range angles and CQB positions with the upgraded pistols. Everyone is invested as well here, Kana, which means we should be seeing no AWP in that first buy round here for Fierce later on.
I think you hit the nail on the head when, you know, you said that Fierce at the moment needs to try and get as up close and personal as possible, you know, in terms of those angles to try and utilize those CZ75s that they've got as well as possible. Make life as difficult as possible for the AK-47s and submachine guns on the terrorist team. Flashbangs and smokes being thrown over towards the smaller B bomb site, but no execution quite just yet. Revelation, they're playing this slow, they're taking their time, they're trying to keep their distance and get a feel with regards to how Fierce are lining up so far.
All 5 players here from Revelation towards mid. Only 2 here for Fierce, but they are going to slowly shift Astro and Fry towards the A-bomb site, leaving Eccles alone B with that smoke. And it is going to be the right call to make. 40 seconds left. Smoke fading now towards middle. They're walking through a smoke. This is very, I was going to say, poorly decided, but actually the headshots go in their favour. So who am I to judge?
Who are you to judge? Well, Solkas is going to obliterate Russ, but that alone is not going to be sufficient. Fry gets a consolation as well before the rest of Fierce become not so fierce and fall back towards the B-bomb site as they look to hold on to the USP they've picked up and the other pistols as well. and of course the armor and utility that they're trying to save as well. But, you know, credit where it's due to Revelation. Tell you what, if you'd asked me this a couple of rounds ago, I would have told you were deluded, but as Counter-Strike often does, it's proven us wrong.
It's very true. Then again, we saw the same in the first map, 15-12 in favor of Reflex. There it was, obviously Fierce with the string of rounds, Revelation with the string of rounds at the end of that CT half, winning the pistol. Now they are against the Folly Cushion. They should go 11-7 in their favor. So, 2 MAC-10s for Russ and Hawk. And 3 AKs round off the rest of the T-sided buy. Things starting off very slow and cold here for Fierce.
I like that AK skin. In the hands of Impact, who looks to make an impact on this round. CZ75 will hit the deck before Stan trades one off, and Hawk is gonna nail Sal in the head with his cheeky MAC-10 run and gun. Somewhat GTA San Andreas reminiscent. There's a second from Russ, and yeah, this should be a easy round for Revelation. It's just
ooh, MAC-10, easy cash for Astro. Against Astro, Fry with 1 apiece for him. HE goes out, combines with the UMP spray. Ooh, he's not peeking just yet. He waits for his moment to strike. And even so, it goes 11-7 in favor of Revelation GG. No pause yet, but I think a pause would be well timed here soon from Fierce, as they cannot afford to keep hemorrhaging rounds here against Revelation's T-side.
No, not at all. This was, of course, Fierce's map choice as well. So, you know, quite the upset on the cards if things remain as they currently are. The Orgs are out in full force, unsurprisingly, for Fierce eSports. Astro is getting barbecued at the top of Banana. No, you've not tuned into a cooking channel. It is genuinely Counter-Strike. Yeah, Revelation.
To be fair though, Crazed does look like a chef.
Does he? Okay.
When you see his picture in a second. No, it's fine. When you see it, do you see what I mean? Can you see him in a white apron?
How do you define what a chef should or shouldn't look like?
But you see where I'm going with this? Or am I just speaking in front of deaf ears?
I don't think I do, but for you, Snods, I'll say yes, I do, if it makes you feel better.
Okay, we'll see. Well, 4 versus 5 here. As just going to be Russ towards B. Sent over the utility towards the B site, trying to see if he can force Astro back there, but instead Astro has stayed towards A, and this is why. 1 kill for him. Craze with a fast trade. Stan able to trade the frag again onto Craze, now we're into a 2 versus 4 situation.
Yeah, Russ and Impact, the last 2 terrorists left standing, but standing no more are the Revelation Gaming players. Fierce get a much needed round on the board. And your score is 11-8.
So, let's see how this one does unfold. This is a big round for both these teams. Revelation win this one, it's 12-8. They force Fierce back onto a weak buy. Or a weaker buy, should I say now, with the money change. And for Fierce, they can't afford to go back one more reset. With the money already so low. I mean, Dom Stanley on $0 in their bank balance. And their accounts on the line. So, smoke towards the bottom of Banana. This is Revelation. Should be taking mid control in the meantime. Wait for that smoke to fade. And eventually take back control across B, apartments, middle. Wait for that 30-second mark. Make their mid-round cool and strike.
152 kills this season for 161 for Soulcast.
Yeah. Obviously had a name change as well. He was Dom, now he's called Soulcast.
Yeah, just to make, you know, names
life's easier, yeah.
A little bit more difficult for us commentators to pronounce. To be fair, Soulcast isn't as bad as some of the names I've seen over the years, don't get me started.
Yeah, like Karum. Round number 20.
Anyways, it is currently raining smoke grenades and flashbangs on this B-bomb site, and hopefully soon it will be raining frags. It certainly is if your name is Fry and Astro. Hawk gets a double, but is it going to be enough to get this bomb down and see off the incoming rotating Dom and Eccles?
Both coming in towards Banana. Bomb is planted. Hawk is hiding. Cowering away in towards the... Oh, he's not actually playing in towards Dark anymore. Goes towards the pillar, maybe expecting the play to come towards CT or Ruin. And he's going to have a shock here when the peak comes through. Just like that, Dom takes him down. It's going to go 9-11. Only 2 rounds now separate these two teams as the bomb was planted for Revelation, so they're going to get the additional injection of cash across the board. But even so, $3,000 really aggregately across the board for this team. It's going to be an eco. Should be seeing a little squared up scoreline very shortly.
What's your take on how he played that there in that 2 versus 1 situation? Obviously, surprised us both by kind of playing for the peak the way that he did. Do you think it was the right decision?
It's tough, really. If you're in that situation, you're trying to find the 1 versus 1s. He's peeking in towards CT, trying to get that frag. He's peeking in towards Ruin, trying to get that 1 versus 1, and then hoping that the CT player will peek. The issue is, though, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of guessing correctly, and that's where, you know, intuition is the big deciding factor there, but can't get it right every single time. Molotov to delay the eco rush, allow for Stanley to peek over.
Stanley knows he's got a few angry incoming Revelation players coming his way. Needs to reload in time, but he's not going to be able to. Soulcast, though, chimes in with one of his own, and Revelation, are they going to go towards B now that they're in CT spawn, or are they just going to chill and try and hack down any rotating Fierce players? They'll know where Soul is because he's already got 1 kill so far this round. They'll probably guess correctly that there probably is another counter-terrorist elsewhere on this A-bomb site. And obviously, the thing for the terrorists now is that Astro pushed down Banana, which basically tells Fierce that, hey, the terrorists must be at A, and now they're sweeping up.
God, that's so crisp there from Dom versus that eco. 10-11 now. Round number 22. By coming in from Revelation GG. Orb, maybe going to be invested into by Hawk. Drop that over to Russ. Instead, no, 5 AK setup. Which means we should be seeing maybe an execution towards the B bomb site. Get those AKs up close and personal. Double Molotov in towards bottom Banana and towards bottom mid. Hawk able to find the frag as Astro comes charging and barreling down Banana. But frivolously, wasn't really any backup there. That was quite a strange play there from Astro, quite uncharacteristic. But then again, now with the change to money, and there's less problems with losing a round, and the chance of the reset is less impactful, you can be a bit more risky.
You certainly can. Really good teamwork from the Fierce players. Soul's right-hand man pre-flashed him in towards upper apps, and that was essentially what gave him that easy kill. And he knows he has a few more customers heading his way. Oh no! Eccles kills his teammate but proceeds to make amends. A kill onto Impact and a death onto Crazed. And now Hawk, with quite frankly, it all to do as he looks to fly in onto 1 of the 3 counter-terrorists. He's snuck up behind him. Will 1 AK Fry catches a glimpse of Stan, but not enough of a glimpse to pre-fire him down. 11-11, we saw a comeback from Revelation in the first half, and Snods, first have said anything you can do, we can do better. 11-11.
All squared up, as we expected, as soon as the money went into tatters for Revelation GG. Once again, it's deja vu. Pistols, armor, that's about it as they come through the smoke. Pushing their way forward, but pushing their way directly into the crossfire of Fry and Astro. Played on London together, Wind and Rain together. Now here they are on Fierce eSports. 5 players staying alive there for Fierce. Great for the economic situation for the CT side. Pause now. And you've got to imagine that's from Revelation GG.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. But then again, given the surprise in the first half, who knows nowadays? But 12-11, you know, we looked at the pause, is a revelation pause, just to confirm. We looked at this kind of scenario in the first half, not, you know, I kind of asked you the question of what you kind of think Revelation have to do to get themselves back into the game. Now, they certainly more than got themselves back into the game, but with it being a Revelation pause again, what do you think they're saying to each other now?
Difficult situation. You had a lead, you had momentum. Now on your T side, this is where things are a lot more tricky. Online, they were so good, T and CT. Obviously, this team is a mix, remember. I think every team may be a mix here. But apart from Fierce, even that may be arguable. And online, they had to play with Craze as a stand-in because their actual fifth, Leaf, is 15 years old. Got to be 16 to play in the Premiership. So do they have the tactical depth to really grind out these terrorist side rounds? Because they have the skill to fire back versus Fierce. That's fine and dandy on your CT side when you're playing these set positions. But now when it's the freestyle play of the T side, this is where the cracks are really starting to show.
Stanley pulling the trigger through that smoke grenade. Wow, grenade from Pit or Archside from Soulcast dealing a lot of damage, but now he's the one getting fried towards the A-bomb site. Impact gets one. Craze chimes in with a headshot of his own before Impact says, I want to kill as well. Russ finally appears on the terrorist side, leaving Fry one man standing. Bomb planted down and out on the A-bomb site. Fry, he wants to hold on, unsurprisingly, to this AUG. Good execution from Revelation.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, 4 players surviving as well. Impact with 2, Rust with 1. Trade frag initially onto Craze, which opened up the site. And obviously, once you get yourself into those positions, it's very easy to have the crossfire set. It makes it very awkward for Fierce to retake that site, as they found, as Fry just threw in the towel and saved. Now it goes 12-12, all squared up again. I would say surprisingly close matchup, but with how Revelation were online, maybe not so. And this was the big talking point for this event. Reflex and Revelation were the first seeds in the online groups. Will they play as a team with the first seed when it went to LAN?
Well, Astro is picking up the AWP, which leaves a question, of whether or not he'll be able to utilise it to make an impact. The terrorists submerge together to try and create this 2 versus 1 situation in upper apps, but unfortunately for them, Fierce playing quite passive on that A-bomb site, not facing, which is quite in contrast towards what they do early in the rounds towards a B-bomb site, towards Banana. And as a result of the passive play on A, it does seem like Impact is going to be leading the charge towards the A-bomb site. Stanley with the AUG, holding arch side. He too prepares to fall back. And he gets greeted by Craze and Impact. Can he make it 3? Yes, he can. Stan came, Stan saw, Stan conquered, leaving JSav and Hawk. They're on the walkie-talkies right now saying, guys, where have you gone? But they've all died. 5 versus 2. Highly unlikely for Revelation to pull this off. Can they though? Let's wait and see.
1 versus 4. 1 versus nothing now as it's 13-12. 3 away from Fierce now to take this one. Thankfully, again with the new money system, Revelation can still buy. Orb for Russ, 4 AKs to round off the rest of the buy. For Stanley, 4 3Ks or more this season, and for him he makes it look so effortless. He plays on a very high sensitivity, 3 to 3.5, just glides and caresses his mouse over that mouse mat and makes it look so effortless when he does find those multi-frags. JSav though, not quite so effortless here as he's just going to be brutally getting the frag onto Fry. 5 versus 4, but the wall bang from Astro equalizes out the numbers.
Astro knows or has a gut feeling that there's more terrorists to eat. Banana gets his second and will fall back before he has any damage dealt to himself. Russ finally with his bread and butter with the AWP in his hands for I think what could be the first time in this second half, as the rest of his teammates with the Kalashnikovs crawl towards Archside. Eccles is playing this very passively from on top of the bomb site, has a crossfire going with Solkas as Revelation prepare to infiltrate A.
Crazed. An impact coming through Arch. Eccles the backup of Dom. Synergy that's been there for years. And right now it's going to be tested. First frag for Eccles. Dom still not going to be showing his head just yet. Waiting for the push to come towards Quad. Gets his man. And Eccles finds the second. 4 players remain for Fierce. 14 to 12, and it feels like Revelation have let this game slip.
It certainly does. But you know, we spoke about Revelation's phenomenal wallbang, that piece of beauty. Credit where it's due to Astro, but yeah, you know, we spoke about the character that Revelation showed in the first half to bring things back, and Fierce, they've done exactly that in this second half. Really impressed by them, to be fair, and obviously new economy system kind of allows Revelation to keep on having a go at it, but it's just, it's not quite happening for them so far. What do you think they need to do differently?
The issue is, it's coming down to these clutch moments, isn't it?
It's not getting the rub of the green.
Yeah, it's the 2Ks, 3Ks from the players like Stan, like Eccles, that are able just to find multi-kills. And here may be another situation of that. Look at the crossfire there between them. Only able to find a few though. 2 versus 2 now as it's finally in an equal scenario for Revelation. GG. They have to take this opportunity with both hands. Fry, Astro will be going for this one. They have the defuse kit for Astro. Org in his hands. Org as well for Fry. 1 flash and 1 smoke.
Fry. Creepy crawling round Quad, but Crazed nails him in the head with that AK-47 instead. And now with Astro with an AWP. He's not very agile with a 2 versus 1 clutch to attempt, and well, he's decided, I'm not going to go for this. I'm going to try and maybe get an exit frag or 2. Revelation, Crazed, cooks up yet another round for his team. And 14-13 to be the score. And thanks to you, Snods, every time Crazed comes up, I just imagine him with a chef's hat. Like, I don't think he necessarily looks like a chef, but thanks to you, that's what I now see in my head.
Take full credit for that.
Why have you done this to me?
14-13. Once again from both sides. Look at the orgs now. Obviously the increase in price means once your economy is rolling, you can still bring out this arguably, infamously overpowered gun. HE, they're perfect. From Fierce, Craze onto 39 HP, JSav, Hawk around 60. 3 players here still. From Fierce, Stanley with a flashbang. Once the smoke does fade, you can see the white swing.
One more grenade. Oh, hello. Fry tries to lay the smack down on Banana before getting eradicated by none other than Hawk himself. Revelation still a man down, but hello. Russ has managed to so far go unnoticed towards the A bomb site, but he has an AWP, which may not bode well for him, especially considering where Astro is positioned right here. If he's not careful, Russ, he could walk straight into Astro's crosshair, which is exactly what happens. Another Revelation player bites the dust, and now JSav and Hawk to try and salvage something from this round and at least get a bomb plan. Stanley says, nah, I'm not going to let you instead. And now Hawk, 4 versus 1, becomes a 4 versus none. Headshot from Stan and Fierce eSports. 1 more round. And they've taken their map choice.
Match point, as you said, for Fierce, 15-13, but Revelation still have 2 chances to get this into overtime. Revelation have gone for the tactical pause. Impact there on your screen, JSav on the right of him, Hawk in the middle as the in-game leader. Right now has a tough task. Try and work out how we can try and dissect the CT side setup. From Fierce, get his team those 2 rounds required to get to 15 and give them a second chance in OT.
Yeah, unsurprising. And the question is, do you think they can do it? Are we going to overtime? Just as we saw in the first semi-final?
I'd say no. Personally, when you take a look at the bye, I think that reflects their chances in this round. CZs for Impact and Crazed, Mac 10 and an SMG again, the UMP for J7. Russell, just Hawk with the firepower and that AK. But even so, it's a close map regardless. Fry, with the backup of his long-standing teammate, Astro there at Banana. Seems like Fierce are split into 2 halves, 2 dynamic duos. Astro and Fry, one half the map, and then Dom and Eccles with that years of synergy behind them towards A. And then Stanley is just the filler rotate player. Little gap with that smoke there. Kyanite could be exposed.
Well, you said Stanley could be exposed, but instead, oh! Stan mows down the incoming Revelation boys. And Hawk now needs to find wings from somewhere to stop Fierce winning. And Fierce well and truly have taken a 1-0 lead in our second semi-final here at the ESL Premiership UK Spring Season Finals.
Train and overpass still to come, but a 16-13 on Inferno in favour of the boys on your screen currently.